Okay, it is smoky AF outside, so the garage door is closed. Getting all that nice smoke from BC, and I believe Alberta's on fire too. Pan's back off. I started researching, and if you saw, I just did some quick measurements and came up with a 5 3/4 inch rod length and 3 3/4 stroke. Searched it up. A 350 has 5.7, 5.7 rod length, so pretty close to my measurement. And a 3.48, so basically 3.5 inch stroke. And a 383 stroker has a 5.65 rod length, so not that much shorter. And a 3.75 stroke. So now I got to measure more accurately to see if I just closely measured and I was correct, or closely measured and I was wrong on one of those measurements. Because it's still up in the air whether I have a 350 or a 383. I looked up some numbers on here, found where some numbers were located. 398442. Search that up. That's not in anything that I can find as an original casting, so it might be an aftermarket crank, which also doesn't help me because with a 383 stroker crank, you can buy them internally balanced. I did find that some things said look at the balancer. Let's look at that now. Okay, yeah. If it's externally balanced, a lot of the balancer chunk will be missing here, and that's not. So I think I should be good to go. It's internally balanced, but now I'm really curious as to what I have in here. And as for time, it was A17-1. So January 17th, 81, 91, 2001. Who friggin' knows? So a little bit more Googling. Turns out I didn't want to Google the whole 398442. I wanted to just Google 442. Turns out this is known as a 442 crank, which is just a standard small block Chevy 350, 305, and 267 crank. Yeah, it's got the 3.48 stroke. So she's not a stroker. She's just a 350. So, guys out to me saying that the previous owner to him said something about it being stroked or being a stroker. He was probably just trying to get more money out of me. I mean, I got a good deal on the truck, so whatever. Even with it being a small block, or a 350. And I had lots of fun with this, and it's going into the crew cab. But, so it turns out that really, other than the cam in this, nothing's really special. I mean, the heads have been reworked, but it's stock crank, probably stock pistons, stock rods, stock crappy heads, well, done up crappy heads, had a stock intake, and a cam. Or maybe it wasn't as awesome as I thought. Maybe it was gearing, maybe it was that SM465 that I had it behind, which means going one again. Or maybe it just wasn't that awesome. I'm going to put it in the crew cab and be like, this isn't how I remember this. Who knows? But let's get it degreased and painted. So, remember when I was working on the Beaumont, putting the big block in, and I needed to steal an oil pump rod from the small block, put it in the big block? Well, apparently now I have an extra one. So this truck's been, this engine's been in a truck not even using this because it's on propane. And it's been just sitting there the whole time. So I guess now I got a next one. There's no point putting that back in because I'm going to be running this on electric fuel pump. That's looking a lot better already. Just used, where is it? Drill the wire wheel after soaking for like 24 hours in degreaser. And looks like it originally was blue, which makes sense because the timing on this thing is 82, I believe. So, yeah, which is about year correct for that crew cab in there. It took an 81 or 82, and this is an 81 or 82 as well. So, yeah. I'm not going to take the time and grind down all this stuff. I've heard that if you do, you're less likely to crack something, which makes sense. Because in fabrication, like I mentioned with this stuff down here, the rounder it is, the less likely it is to crack. It's stronger, so that would make sense here, but I'm not going to take the time to do that with this one. I'm just going to run it how it is. Now I got to flip it over to the other side. Oh, and I should be covering everything, but I'm not. I mean, how can I wonder what happened when it has catastrophic failure if I don't do any of that stuff now? No. No. I was hoping this is just a casting blemish, but it looks like it's a split in the block, rendering my last functional engine useless. I'm going to grind this down a little bit, see kind of if it's just on the edge here, if it's right in, and then I might have to pull the heads, which I didn't want to have to do. And yeah, if it's dickered, if it's fricked, then I don't know what to do because I don't have any more functional engines. That one's, yeah. That one's, yeah. That one's, yeah. That one's not even the right type of engine for the truck. I mean, it could work, but I promised that one to my wife, and it's torn apart too. So, yep, it just keeps on going. I dug in a little bit, and it's, yeah, it was up here where I started, and then you dig in, and it just goes down. Awesome. That head's got to come off. So I guess I'll pop the head off this and see what's under there, how bad it is in the water jacket. Might pop some stuff off of this one because I was thinking about it, and I remember I had trouble putting the intake gasket on. So I wonder if the intake gasket slid down and that's how the coolant got in. Or it could be the head gasket. I don't know. I'll take the thing apart until I see what's wrong with it. Because might have to go back to using that. And if I can't use that, the wife and I discussed it, and I'm going to use her engine. It's supposed to go into the Suburban, but I'm going to use the heads off the Beaumont 350 possibly. I won't put a cam in it like we planned or anything. I'll just use a stock cam so I don't have to break in a cam, at least not yet, and just run it like that. And then what we'll do for the Suburban is use the block out of the Suburban because it's just an old tired engine with TBI heads. So we'll just freshen up the bottom end and then throw the Vortec heads and stuff on that, and it should be good. I don't even think it needs rings or bearings or anything like that. That engine runs awesome. So yeah, that's the plan. Plan A, plan B kind of thing, I guess. But yeah, let's take that apart and see how bad it is first. Well, it's hard to see in there, but it does look like it goes all the way through. Not bad. It's not into the cylinder walls or anything. Obviously, it's just into the edge of the block here, into the water jacket. So I think I don't want to risk this in a daily driver that I need, especially something I'm trying to make into a tow truck. But I think if I just JB welded the crap out of that and put this in a mud truck, it'd be fine, at least for a while. If you remember the Pathfinder, my brother and I were talking about it, and he thinks that it's, in his mind, it's still mine, just kind of at his place. So he said if I ever want it back, I can just have it back, which got me thinking about that truck. And I might, at some point, if I can get a few other projects done here, that might be up on the roster. So maybe put this in there, back on propane, put the propane pig in the box, and friggin' run it. Just JB weld that, paint it all up nice, and then run it. And if it blows up, it blows up. It's no good right now anyways, so might as well make it good for at least a little bit. Hang on to that guy.